Hey, pause for a second. Put your phone down. If you can, close the tabs in your mind and just breathe. Because this one's for the part of you that keeps looking sideways instead of forward, the part of you that knows comparison is making you miserable but can't seem to stop. The part of you that sees everyone else winning, smiling, loving, thriving, and wonders, what's wrong with me? You're not alone. This world has made comparing second nature and self-worth a scoreboard, but there's a better way, so let's talk not with judgment, not with fake positivity, but with honesty, the kind that frees you. You ready? Part 1. The first lie, you're behind. The world whispers it constantly. You're behind, you're late, you missed the boat. Someone else got there faster, you're falling behind, your clock is ticking, your peers are passing you, and now your life feels like a race, but nobody gave you the map or told you where the finish line is. You just run and scroll and panic. But here's the truth. You're not behind. You're on a path they've never walked, with timing they'll never understand. Comparison wants you to forget that because if you believe you're behind, you'll rush, you'll strive, you'll live for approval instead of alignment. But your timeline isn't broken, it's just yours. Part 2. Comparison is a thief and a liar. Comparison doesn't just steal joy, it rewrites the truth. It takes someone's highlight reel and plays it against your behind the scenes. It says, they're happier than you. They're better looking. They have it all figured out. They're winning, you're not. But it doesn't show the full picture, the bad days, the tears, the doubts, the behind closed doors chaos. Comparison distorts the lens, so your life looks smaller and theirs looks shinier. But it's not truth, it's projection. And projection kills peace. Part 3. Why we compare. You don't compare because you're shallow, you compare because you're human. Comparison is a survival instinct. It helped our ancestors judge danger, find safety, learn faster, but in the modern world, it's become something else. Now we compare to determine our worth, our beauty, our success, our likability, our enoughness, and social media. It amplifies it all. You scroll through 100 curated lives in 10 minutes and wonder why you feel empty. Your brain was never built to process this much stimulus, especially not with your self-esteem on the line. Part 4. The emotional cost. Comparison doesn't just hurt, it rewires your identity. You start doubting your decisions, you question your passion, you lose sight of your values. What used to make you proud now feels like a consolation. You stop celebrating and start competing with people who don't even know you exist, and the saddest part? You begin to betray yourself to become someone else's version of impressive, but no amount of pretending will fill the hole comparison dug inside you. Part 5. Identity in a world of imitation. When you constantly compare, you forget who you are. You try on everyone else's life, but none of them fit. You mimic their moves, their clothes, their tone, their rhythm. But imitation is exhausting and unsustainable because real confidence doesn't come from being better. It comes from being true. You don't need to outshine anyone, you just need to come home to you. Part 6. The myth of better. Better is a moving target. Someone's always richer, fitter, more followed, more adored, more anything. But the pursuit of better leaves you bitter because you're not chasing purpose. You're chasing approval, and approval is a hungry ghost. It never has enough, never says thank you, never lets you rest. If your worth depends on being better, you'll never feel worthy even when you win. Part 7. From envy to inquiry. Envy is comparison's loudest symptom. You see what they have and it stings, but instead of suppressing it, what if you listen? Envy says, they have something I want. Okay, then ask, why do I want that? What does it represent? Sometimes envy shows us our desires, other times it shows us our wounds. But either way, it's a chance to grow. Don't resent people for being mirrors, learn from what they reflect. Part 8. Stopping the spiral. Comparison is a spiral, but it can be stopped. Not with shame, but with strategy. Here's how. Limit screen time, especially when you feel low. Unfollow triggers, even good ones. Replace scrolling with creating. Start your day with you and not someone else's life. Reflect more than you consume. Comparison thrives in distraction but dies in self-awareness. Part 9. Staying in your lane. Your lane matters, but every time you swerve into someone else's story, you crash your own. Their pace isn't your pace. Their win isn't your loss. Their timeline isn't your blueprint. Comparison says, hurry up. Alignment says, trust the process. So stay in your lane, there's space for you. Part 10. Making peace with being different. Comparison pressures you to be the same. Same goals, same grind, same success story. But your difference is not a defect, it's your distinction. Your quirks, your style, your odd timing, your failures, your unique path. These are not setbacks. They're your superpowers. If you copy their script, you erase your soul. And you're not here to be a replica. You're here to be real. Part 11. Your story still matters. Maybe you've been stuck. Maybe your growth feels invisible. Maybe you've lost momentum. But just because their chapter looks shinier doesn't mean your story is over. Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like saying no to something that drains you, going to therapy, waking up without anxiety, forgiving someone, getting out of bed when it's hard. You're growing even if no one's clapping. Part 12. Celebrate without comparing. Celebration doesn't have to be competition. You can clap for others without doubting yourself. You can be proud of their win without diminishing yours. You can admire someone's success without turning it into a mirror of your failure. Real confidence knows that someone else's light doesn't dim their shine doesn't take your space. It reminds you what's possible. Part 13. The power of present. Comparison pulls you into past or future. Presence brings you back to now. And now is where your power lives. What can you create now? What can you honor now? Who can you become now? Comparison says, someday. Present says, start today. Don't wait to feel worthy. Start living like you already are. Part 14. You're not too late. One of the biggest lies comparison tells you is that you're too late. But late for what? Life isn't a train you missed. It's a journey you're still on. There's no one timeline, no expiration on purpose, no deadline for becoming. You are not too late. You are right on time for your story, your chapter, your rise. Part 15. You are enough as you are. Last one, the one we forget most. You are enough not because you outperformed anyone, not because you earned it. You are enough because you exist, because you breathe, because you're becoming. You don't have to be better. You just have to be you, and that, in a world full of copies, is rare. So if you've been caught comparing, looking sideways, losing sight of your worth, pause, return to yourself, not the filtered self, not the performing self. Just you are not behind. You are not invisible. You are not lacking. You are building something real, and real things take time. So look up, look forward, look within, and keep going. Your story matters, especially when you're not watching anyone else's.